It's not like I woke up one morning and this fully formed idea was born in my head, then I shot it on the world and it was perfect. Or that fully formed idea, shot it on the world and it got shot down. It's a small series, or it's a long series of small steps of overcoming this fear, and that's literally what has made my life's work possible. It started at the beginning with very, very low risk.
How you, and is that how you ended up connecting with Ben? Because you two have a similar vibe in that.
Yeah, the way I connected with Ben was as I mentioned earlier, a good friend of mine, Michael Hebb, and I did a project called Songs for Eating and Drinking, where we invited musicians from all over the world, or all over Seattle in this case. Generally, it's all over the world, and with interesting chefs and food. And this particular night where I met Ben was a hip-hop summit that we threw. We knew there was a cultural movement happening in Seattle. Invited Ben through a friend of mine named Sabzi, who's the MC for the Blues Scholars, the DJ for the Blues Scholars, and he said, "You got to meet my friend Macklemore. He had some success early on. He's doing a restart, and he's going to be big someday. You're going to love him." And it was that connection that we made that night when he first performed. He called it then Air Jordans, but went on to become Wings, and some of his other of that material is in there. To see his vulnerability in front of his peer group when he'd already been sort of a low point, he was just come out of therapy, to watch him breathe, that brought me really close to him, and I wanted to continue to do that and put myself out there, so I was deeply inspired by it, for sure.
So you just put the segue that I was just about to ask you.
Bring it.
Would you mind answering on record, since he went through therapy to find that point and jump out, have you used therapy yourself to get through your own fears?
I haven't used therapy from drugs and alcohol. Like, I haven't gone through drug therapy or drug rehab.
I meant psychotherapy.
I've seen plenty of therapists through the course of my professional career. Usually those are to deal with, not necessarily with the fear of putting work out there, but really in understanding what's going on in here. That's that language that I was talking about in my talk, about this is where the magic of creativity and the magic of art, can you make something that no one else in the world can make? That has to come. There's a lot of stimulus out there, and everyone can see the same thing. What's in here? So actually identifying what was going on in here for me, I haven't done a lot of therapy, but the therapy that I have done has been very identifying what this is. And in identifying it, it's enabled me to turn around and share it and to be vulnerable. And this is relatively new for me. I feel like I have, for a long part of my career, presented a pretty slick image, and everything's rosy, and it's just helicopters and big shoes. And it's not always like that.
Helicopters and kitties and unicorns.
Yeah, it's not all kitties and unicorns.
Yeah.